Hello and welcome back to Shane Delbon's Casual Gaming. This is your host Shane Delbon, and today, finally today, I'm going to be getting to the point of this Let's Play of mine. The actual guide and walkthrough of this. This is a rather hard level, Snowman's Lost His Head, that I've heard from the gaming community. It's hard, but basically all you have to do is, while staying right in front of the snowball, like so, you lead it down this path and towards the snowman's head at the bottom. It might take a couple tries, you might have to reset, but so long as you stand right next to or in front of the snowman's head, you might take a hit, but there you go. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. This episode is going to be taking place here in... Oh, goodness, what is the name of this level? It's been so long. I'm sorry, it's been a month. Cuckoo Mountain. I'm going to be here in Cuckoo Mountain, and then I'm going to be transferring off into Hazy Maze Cave. I got most of the 100 coins, but basically for this one, you're going to need to go up here, talk to this pink bomb, open up the cannons, and then you saw the little cannon on the left over there, but you're going to open up this cannon here, make it down however you want, and then blast off to the other side. I never really know when currents are gonna pop up, so it's always nice to have them give you that little boost. Make sure that you are directly above that tree however you do this, because that is your little safety net for this. Also, please, 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 whatever you do, do not jump. Do not jump whenever you're firing across that ledge, because it's all too likely that you're going to end up blasting forward and end up jumping off the edge, and it's happened to me way too many times. As usual, for the 100 coins, I'm not going to be showing those over the course of an episode, because going through the level 6 time is usually fairly enough to be able to get a good idea of where they're all at, and I'm typically fairly thorough in the levels. So the only hard part about this is that you have to double jump and then wall jump off of the walls, getting 2 jumps before the ledge, the second jump jumping off of the ledge, and then hitting the wall is the only tricky part to this. To wall jump, as soon as you approach a wall at velocity from a certain speed, just straight on, as soon as Mario says, "Ugh," press A, and you'll perform the wall jump. Again, a really simple star. The big thing that I was really wanting to do with this series is to introduce a little bit of a metagame to each of the games, but this Mario... Oh! We're going to be fighting Bowser. I'd completely forgotten. The whole purpose of this series was to show off the metagame of a lot of different games. I usually play RPGs and other games that have a little bit of sequence breaking to them, which is why I founded this series, to show off those bits and pieces of, you know, my path, my way, to make it easy for new players. Massive jump there, basic... Whew. I'm not quite entirely sure I made the right decision in cutting this up. The only real thing you're missing out on here is me stomping a few enemies and going over some simple obstacles, which I won't cut out the next time we go through a Bowser level. I am terribly sorry about that. While it is fairly simple, that's not exactly something I should have done. under any real circumstances. And that's another thing I need to work on. Just overdoing the apologies. For these up here, you have to long jump on that first one, the far one on the edge there. Because otherwise you won't make it and you'll either A, fall down, or B, plummet to your doom, neither of which is fun or helpful. In Bowser levels, you can only get the 8 red coins as a star, and it is a bonus star of the castle. It counts as a castle secret star, not a level star per se. Which is what it shows up as in your high scores, totals, etc. on the main menu select. And here we are at our first Bowser battle. That laugh still scares me. I don't know about you guys, but I've heard that thing since I was 3. It's never a good time. So this is a lot like our fight against the Bob-omb King. You have to get behind him, but once you get to his tail, you press B to grab it. By spinning the control stick, you spin Bowser around faster and faster depending on how fast you're rotating the control stick. And then once you press B again, you will throw him in whatever direction Mario is facing. What I like to do is get him up to a certain speed and then wait until he lines up with where I'm pressing. He'll still keep going for a little bit at typically the same speed. And whenever you press B, I like to have it held in a direction. He'll get to that point, and wherever I'm pointing, he'll fly off in that direction. Usually it'll be just enough to be able to get him to fly up into a bomb, but it's more of a trial and error thing, and it's not something I can really coach you on. This little bunny here, if you manage to catch him, will give you a star. He will give you up to 2 stars based on how... at 2 different points. I think the first you get it at 20 stars, and the second one you get at 30 stars. Really, it's a frustrating little bit because, as you saw earlier, I rippled up against the wall, and that's actually a hidden little level there, and I think that's how they wanted you to find out that that level exists. This toad here will give you a star if you talk to him, and I'm going to do that at some point. Sorry. The trick to catching the bunny is getting up close to him and then doing the forward dive by simply pressing B. I would also advise that whenever you do this to not press A if you don't catch him, even though he will run off somewhere else. The reason being that if you press A, you are very likely to jump into the fire, jump into a portrait, or otherwise fuck up, for lack of a better word. I'm going to skip the first star in all of this to get the next and final cap. I'm really making some questionable editing decisions here. I'm terribly sorry, folks. From the room that I teleported from, I guess you could say, you go down an elevator. It's a straight path to this little lake here. You go up to this Loch Ness monster. I don't even know what this is. A plesiosaur? Hip drop on its back. And what happens is, oh no, am I gonna get the star? No. This is not a quality episode. What ends up happening is you hip drop on his back, run up to the top of his head, and wherever you are facing relative to him, like say if you're facing like 90 degrees right of where he's facing, he will keep turning right. If you're facing forward, he will move forward, etc. use that to navigate over to the ledge, and you will be thrown into the metal cap area. As with the wing cap area, you have to get 8 red coins while using your the cap of that world, the little mini level, to get the star. So long as you at least, and if you don't get the star, so long as you hit the switch and save, you'll be able to use that cap later. As you've seen in the Bowser level earlier, and earlier on this level, this cap showed up a couple times, but we haven't exactly gotten to use it until now. This is actually, this or the invisible cap is the second or third cap you'll get. I usually get this one first instead of the invisible cap because the invisible cap is only really, I think it only has, no, it has 2 levels, but it only has like 2 exact uses, whereas the metal cap has a lot more. Teleported back down into this room because why the hell not? I'm really questioning this, and while I could redo all this, I don't have it in me. I'm just trying to get this footage up and out there so that I can start doing live recordings, and I've abandoned this Let's Play for long enough that I've abandoned this Let's Play for long enough that I felt I should start getting back to it so I can make room for other things. I skipped going to this room, but if from the start of the level, you go right, you jump over a pit, and you'll wind up in this room. From the entrance to the room, you drop down. There will be a pole to your left. You drop down off of that, preferably hip dropping, so that you take reduced damage. You go up to this set of stairs. That pole in the distance is the pole that you drop down off of. You go up there and you use that elevator or lift or whatever to navigate around to collect the 8 red coins. You use the arrows on it and will move in that direction until you bump into something or you hit another arrow on the pad. I like these little lift things, these checkerboard lifts, because it gives the game a nice little slow down pace. I've always found it fascinating how it manages to follow each of those black little dots there as a set path, and I've never really quite understood how that works. I'm sure it'd be fairly easy to program relative to something like enemy AI, but it's always definitely been a little fascination for me. Another 8 red coins. I didn't do the 100 coins for this because that would have... I don't like the 100 coins here. And honestly, I've been making quite a few questionable decisions with this as is. So that's going to be all for today. I've gotten 30 stars by digging around a lot, and I can go visit Bowser if I chose to. Oh, one last star. Back here, if you go to the rolling boulders, wall jump here, there's a star. It's the 6th star, so I did that out of order again. Not necessarily meta so much as trying to conserve time. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you some other time.